The Netherlands, a country synonymous with wealth, stability, and a high standard of living. Globally admired for its social welfare system, advanced economy, and progressive values, the Netherlands stands as a symbol of prosperity. But beneath this polished exterior, a paradox is emerging. How can one of the richest nations in the world be quietly slipping into poverty? In this video, we'll dive deep into this paradox. We'll explore the factors that have led to an increase in poverty in a country that is seemingly thriving. We'll uncover the current situation, discuss the future outlook, and consider potential solutions to reverse this troubling trend. Before we dive in, if you're interested in more in-depth analyses of global paradoxes like this one, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us bring you more insightful content. The Netherlands is the sixth largest economy in the European Union, boasting a GDP of over $1 trillion. It's home to some of the world's most influential multinational corporations, giants like Shell, Philips, and Unilever. Despite its small size, the Netherlands is the second largest food exporter globally, trailing only the United States. This economic prowess has afforded the Dutch a high standard of living, with excellent healthcare, robust social services, and a relatively low unemployment rate. However, it's important to understand how this wealth was built. The Netherlands has a long history of international trade, dating back to the Dutch Golden Age in the 17th century, when it was one of the world's leading maritime powers. This history laid the foundation for the modern Dutch economy, which is highly diversified and open to global markets. The country's strategic location in Europe, its well-developed infrastructure, and a highly educated workforce have all contributed to its economic success. On paper, the Netherlands is a model of success. But as we peel back the layers, a different picture begins to emerge. Despite the outward signs of wealth and stability, an increasing number of Dutch citizens are struggling to get by. How can this be happening in such a wealthy nation? This is the paradox we will explore today. To understand it, we must first look at the factors that have contributed to the growing poverty in the Netherlands. The paradox of wealth and poverty in the Netherlands is not just a theoretical concept, it's a harsh reality that's reflected in the numbers. While the Netherlands enjoys a GDP of over $1 trillion, the wealth gap is widening at an alarming rate. Nearly 995,000 Dutch citizens are now living below the poverty line, a number that is expected to rise if current trends continue. Let's start with the housing crisis. Over the past decade, the Dutch housing market has experienced a significant boom, with property prices skyrocketing by nearly 11% in certain regions. This has made home ownership increasingly unattainable for a large segment of the population. Even renting has become a significant financial burden, with housing costs now consuming a substantial portion of household incomes. To put this in context, the average price for a home in the Netherlands increased from around 250,000 euros in 2010 to nearly 400,000 euros by 2023. For young families and first-time buyers, this has made entering the housing market incredibly difficult. The limited supply of affordable housing has further exacerbated this issue, pushing more people into precarious living situations or forcing them to remain in rental properties where prices are also climbing rapidly. Take Amsterdam, for instance, where the average price of a home has soared to over 500,000 euros, making it one of the most expensive cities in Europe. Many residents have been priced out of the city, leading to increased commuting times and a strain on public transportation. The government's attempts to regulate the housing market, such as rent control and subsidies for first-time buyers, have had limited success in curbing these trends. In addition to the housing crisis, the cost of living in the Netherlands has been steadily rising. Inflation reached 3.8% in 2023, but when you exclude energy, the inflation rate climbs to a worrying 6.5%. Food prices have surged by over 12%, straining household budgets and pushing more people towards financial instability. The rising cost of basic necessities is a significant factor in the growing number of Dutch citizens who are now living in poverty. How did this situation come about? One of the key issues is the country's housing market. For years, low interest rates and favorable lending conditions fueled a real estate boom, driving property values to unsustainable levels. But as mortgage rates began to rise again, many homeowners found themselves struggling to keep up with payments, leading to increased financial pressure and even being forced to sell their homes. Moreover, government spending cuts have slowly weakened the country's social safety nets. Welfare benefits that once covered up to 75% of the average wage now only provide around 70%, with stricter rules further limiting access. Social housing, unemployment benefits, and health insurance subsidies have all been reduced, leaving the most vulnerable segments of society at risk. To understand these cuts, we need to look at the broader economic context. The global financial crisis of 2008 had a significant impact on the Dutch economy, leading to a period of austerity where the government sought to reduce public debt and cut back on spending. While these measures helped stabilize the economy in the short term, they also led to long-term consequences, such as weakened social safety nets that have struggled to recover fully. The reliance on food banks has also increased dramatically. In 2023, approximately 180,000 people depended on food banks, a stark rise from around 90,000 a decade ago. This doubling in reliance on food aid is a clear indicator of the growing number of people who are falling through the cracks of what was once a comprehensive welfare system. Beyond housing and welfare, the rise of the gig economy has led to increased job insecurity and income instability. Temporary contracts and self-employment without sufficient protections have left many workers vulnerable. This trend is particularly evident among younger workers, who often find themselves in precarious employment situations without the benefits and security that previous generations enjoyed. Additionally, economic inequality has worsened, with tax policies favoring the wealthy, while wages for lower and middle-income workers have stagnated. This disparity continues to widen the gap between rich and poor, despite the nation's overall wealth. As corporate profits soar, the benefits of economic growth are not being shared equally, leading to frustration and a sense of injustice among many Dutch citizens. As we stand at this critical point, what does the future hold for the Netherlands? Without significant intervention, the wealth gap is likely to continue widening, pushing even more Dutch citizens into poverty. But there is hope. The solutions to these challenges are within reach, and they begin with a review of the policies that have led to this paradox. One potential solution lies in strengthening the social safety nets that have been weakened over the years. By investing in affordable housing, increasing social welfare benefits, and ensuring that wages keep up with the cost of living, the Netherlands can begin to reverse the trend of growing poverty. Additionally, adopting progressive tax policies that reduce inequality and provide more support to lower and middle-income households can help to create a fairer society. We can look to countries like Denmark for inspiration. Denmark has managed to maintain a high standard of living while keeping income inequality low. This has been achieved through robust social safety nets, progressive taxation, and significant investments in public services like education and healthcare. By adopting similar strategies, the Netherlands can address the underlying issues that have led to the current situation. The paradox of the Netherlands is a warning for any nation that prioritizes economic growth over social cohesion. It's a reminder that wealth alone does not guarantee well-being. The Dutch have faced challenges before and emerged stronger. The current crisis requires a collective effort to return to the values of solidarity and equality that once defined this nation. Only by addressing these underlying issues can the Netherlands secure a future where prosperity is shared by all and the paradox of wealth and poverty is resolved. Thank you for watching. If you found this exploration of the Netherlands paradox insightful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the world's most intriguing issues. Let us know in the comments what topics you'd like us to explore next.